Hello everyone, my name is Saksham Dixit and this is my channel Pentest Diaries. This is another video on the same series of lazy programming series, and in this video I'll try to explain you about how exactly the string slicing in we're supposed to do it. Like, taking example, any string is provided to you, how you can make it in a slice, how you make it a slice of it, how we retrieve actually some content out of that string itself. That's everything we'll try to get it cover itself. We'll calculate the length, count, and if we want to identify some strings keywords inside of that complete string, so that's also one of the possibility we can do it using a slicing concept. So that's the stuff which I want to get it covered in this video itself. I know this is not a big video, this is just a small video and having only one demonstration of it. It's a single code. Over there I'm just trying to explain you what actually the output is supposed to get it. This is just a basic one which is going further with that. So that was the reason I just want to cover all the concepts before going to the actual logical section for it, so that these things, if it's coming in the later phase itself in a program, so you're not a bit confused about it, how exactly these things are coming directly inside of it. Okay, so these concepts, once the minimalistic concept will be get it covered in the Python course itself, then definitely I'll go ahead further with that actual code where we are writing the code itself. I've given few descriptions about it, and even before proceeding further with that, there is one of that challenge, or I can say that there's one of the question I have given to you last time in my last lecture. So in that I just asked you just to make a calculator, which I have already demonstrated you. I wanted that to be added a operator. I know that someone have tried from your side or not, but I just want to give it an idea over there. At that time I'll just ask you to make that, but there is a thing when you're trying to figure out the way just to make that possible for you. So it's not possible with the operator itself without using if and else statement. If you can know about the if else statement in Python, then that gets a bit easy for you. Like, you can put the status like the person is selected addition, then that case that request will be get a trigger. If the person has selected something else, then another one is get triggered. So it depends on it. If and else condition, you can make it very easily over there itself. Without if else and else condition, it's very difficult for you to make that working either with the function way or whatever the way is that you want to proceed further with that. So it's far better for you. I just want you to brainstorm your way. Like, you just have to brainstorm that question and try to understand how exactly the things we can solve it. Not going with the normal way itself. Like, whenever there is a challenge will be provided to you, try to figure out the way how we can solve those problems. I know it very well at the time of giving the challenge. Like, this is not feasible to get it achieved just with the stuff which we have covered till yet itself. So for that we require the if and else statement to be get it covered, but as I have not covered it, so I'm not expecting you to write the code itself. If you're aware about if else statement, how to utilize it, you can make the code. But if you're not, then in that case don't worry about it. I'll cover it in next to next video itself. I'll try to cover if else statement itself so that you can able to make that code for you. But at least when you are searching such type of problem and try to get that result, even by any way, like searching on a net, Stack Overflow, ChatGPT, anywhere you want to search it, so at that time you are figuring out the ways. There are a number of ways. When we are seeing something, looking for the solution for something, we are getting the solution for two more things also. That was the strategy we always be having in our mind itself when you are writing some code. So always having some challenge which is not feasible and easy to eye catchy for it. Not mug up everything which is provided by the course itself, provided by the slides, provided by the doc itself, by any instructor. Try to use those code and try to modify it. That will give you extra knowledge as compared to whatever the knowledge you are getting it with the instructor. Like, instructor will deliver the stuffs to some extent, not for all. Like, instructor definitely have learned a lot of things in a year itself, and that experience you can't get in a 10 minutes or 15 minutes video itself. Okay, so always remember that whenever any challenge will be provided to you, try to figure out the ways for it. Even if it's not feasible to make that code for you, I know that it's not easy for you to make it in an initial phase, but still, at least if you try to figure out the way, it's easy for you to recall it. And these are also the possibility in later phase. If you want to utilize it, that's also one of the things. So at least when I'm reaching to that if and else video, then at the time you're already aware about it, as you have utilized in one of the lecture or in one of the code itself. So you're already aware about the concept. So try to learn the stuff faster as compared. Don't wait for our lecture to be delivered and then only you can grasp that. That's also one of the way. But if you want to learn it faster, that's also one of the thing. You try to explore the stuff from your side, write a code from your side. then the problem will be arises. Like when we are writing a code, at that time only so many challenges is coming in front of us, and to solve those challenges we have to figure out the way what is the best solution for it. That was the reason behind it. Always try to look around from some problem, automation, anything like that, and go ahead further with that. Okay, so go ahead further. If I'm talking about the string slicing, this is a powerful feature in Python that allow you to extract a specific portion of a string. Additionally, there are various built-in string functions that you can use it to manipulate and work with the strings. Here's an overview of the string slicing and some commonly used string function in Python itself, that I'll just try to get it covered by step itself. In Python, you can use slicing to extract a portion of a string by specifying the start and end. So make sure that whenever we're talking about the slicing, there is a start thing and there is an end thing. That will always be there itself. Then only we can able to figure out like from where we want to start the slicing and from where till where we have to make it an end. The general syntax is string, then we have to we have to make it a square brackets, then we have to start colon, then we have the end and closing the square brackets. Keep in mind in that like start index, it's an inclusive one, while the end index, if you're talking about, it's the exclusive one. So if it's start, then in that case it's inclusive. If you're talking about the end, then it's inclusive. Then if you're talking about the end, it's exclusive. Like that was a concept behind it when we are starting it from one point and reaching to another point, start to end itself. Remember that concept always when we are talking about the slicing itself anywhere inside of the code. You can also omit the start and the end indices to slice from the beginning or up to the end respectively. And negative indices can be used to count portion from the end of the string. So whenever there is a point of negative one, then in that case it can be utilized from the end of the string itself, like it's going to the negative section for it. That was the reason, starting from the end. Now going further with that common string function, which is an inbuilt one, which we have it. So len is one of the string function which we have it, and which we can use it just to identify the length of the string. When there is a string in front of you and you want to identify what's the length of the string, then this is a function, string function, if you can use it, commonly use it most of the places that you have to use it. Even I think in one of my code I have used it. I'm not sure whether I have used it in previous or not. If I have not used it, definitely in a later phase we are making some code, and at that time we are using the length also. Like in this tutorial also, when we're demonstrating the code, at that time I will definitely let you know what actually the functionality of the length itself. Okay, now we're going further with that the another one which we call it as a lower and the upper. Like at the time when we have some string and we want that string to be getted reflect in a lower, everything in a lower case, then in that case we have to use this string function. And if we want everything in a upper, then in that case we have to use a keyword as upper itself. So we have to use that keyword and we have to use that, like whatever the variable, and we wanted that to be converted to the upper and the lower as per our need. If we want to use a strip and we want to use L strip or use R strip, then remove the leading and the trailing white spaces or specific character itself. That was the reason we are using this. Talking about the replace, we want to replace something with appropriate substring itself. That's also one of the thing we have to use this keyword. Use searching for a find or index itself. That's also one of the thing. Like if we want to find something inside of it, a string, that's one of the substring we can identify using the find function itself. Count is one of the thing which we can catch for the substring in the string. So the count also we can get it done with the count function itself. Starts with and ends with, that's also one other thing. We can talking about the checks if the string starts or end with. Like if we want to identify like whether in a string this is the start or this is the end one, we would just want to get it identified that's we can do it with this function comma string. Now going further with it, these are just a few examples of the many string functions. Don't consider that this is the only one, which we have a lot more than that. I have just covered a few things over here itself. I believe in Python itself, strings are versatile in Python, and these functions provide a wide range of tools for manipulating and working with them itself. So we can utilize as per our need most of the places. Few things you're not ever seen your code itself, but most of the things you can use frequently wheresoever you require, like you require the length, anything like that. If you want to restrict the length, then in that case definitely we have to calculate in couple of ways when you're seeing the code. Like it's not only restricted with the Python, with other programming languages also. Like what exactly is happening, like if I'm talking about the cyber professional point of view, as a pen tester or as a security professional, the person is like, when they're performing assessments on any application, they want to put a lot of strings over there. So they want to put the length to be 100,000 lakhs characters, they want to put it from their side itself. So at that time also, a length is one of the keyword which we have to use just to get it, restrict the length, and we just try to get it validated whether the length is reached to that level. If it's reached to that level, that's it. We are not allowing more keywords to be getted inside over there itself, instead of that variable. So that type of things we are doing it from the coder point of view. If we're talking about like to restrict the attacks, exploits over there itself on an application, we can do such type of activities. Now we go to the practical section, and we are seeing the actual code about it, how exactly the code will working over there itself. How exactly the things like using in a multiple sections for it, which whatever the common examples which we have discussed so far, how exactly these things are working in actual code. When we are seeing the code, we are reviewing the code and we are writing some code, how exactly we can utilize it. At the time of reviewing it, how we identify whether that code is appropriate, is in place or not. To do both the things at the same time itself, it's easy for you to know that stuffs well, like syntax, aware about that concept. Then only either you can review it or you can write the code from the scratch. You can do it very well. Okay, so let me go to the system now and explain you about it, how exactly things are going on with that way. Okay, yeah. Okay, so proceeding further with the demonstration portion, this is the code which we have to utilize it for the slicing portion. Okay, so I'm just explaining, I try to explain you about each and every section about it. So this is the content which we are trying to get it to populate from our side. Okay, so this is a string, we just give it that it assigned to this variable, which we can name it as mystr. Now going further with that, I want to print that, but what exactly the things I just want to get it print? I wanted that colon, this is the start point and this is the end point. So that is one of the thing. Okay, so I just want to start from 0 and end at 5. So what I have explained you about it, start is the inclusive one and that end is the exclusive one. Okay, so that is one of the things which you have to consider it. So over here itself, what exactly the thing is happening, you can able to identify, like when we're trying to print it, then at that time, like when I just run this code and show you the output, then you can able to visualize it. So make sure that over here itself only the 4 things are coming, 0 1 2 3 4, only till 4 the things are coming. 5th one is not possible. Okay, this one is not possible as it's exclusive. Okay, now proceeding further, we just want to identify the length. This is the one which we have to use it just to identify the length of it. If we want that starting is 0 and the end is 78, 70 is just intentional, I'm just giving it from my side. So I wanted everything to be get it printed. So as you know, like this is more 78 is lot more than that, then in that case everything is to be get, like even I'll put few characters more, like a lot characters more than that, reaching to a 60 or 65, I can able to print everything till 78. Till 77, I mean to say. Like now after that, this is a different type of thing. Like we are starting it from the 0, we are going till 4 itself, not 5, and we just wanted a difference between, like a gap coming under that section for it is 2. Okay, that is the thing we are seeing over here itself. So going further with that only, so that is also one other thing which we want to get, like after every 2 we just want to print something 1. Okay, that is the thing. Now we will see this output when we are running the code, and we can able to see that, but I'm just explaining you about it, what exactly it means. It's starting from 0 and it's going to the endless itself. Over here itself, it's coming from going till 5 itself, like it's 4, but it's coming from anywhere itself. So coming from that 0 behind that also it will come, like a -1 also, but it's going till 5 only. Over here itself there is no limit for it, it's get it printed. It's over here itself, there is no limit over here itself. Okay, now we're talking about the next one itself. 2 is a difference itself, but there is nothing like this. So everything whatever you're seeing on your screen, it's having a difference of 2, like it's starting with 0, then it's addition with 2, and then after that the next character will be +2 itself. Over here it's a 3. Over here itself, this is the one which is quite interesting, and when I run the code I will show you that what exact thing we are getting it. This is the -1 which we are seeing. We'll try to get retrieve that. We are starting from the -4 and we'll go to the -2 itself. So that's quite interesting. Like we are not starting with 0, we are starting with -4 and we are coming from negative to -2. That's also one of the thing which we have to retrieve it. We'll see that each and everything when we are running the code itself with the output. We'll try to get it compared. Now going further with that, if we just wanted like there is no limit end point or start point, but we have like -1 is over there itself. That's also one of the thing. -2 is also one of the thing. Now we wanted alphanumeric is just to get it identify over there itself. That's one thing. Now we want to change that, like if I'll just give it enter, and this is the string is now changed. I'll just put it a new string over here itself. Now if I want to do alphanumeric, I can do that. If I want to identify this one and dismiss, like whether this keyword which I'm giving it a substring, whether it's present in a string or not, that's one thing I can identify it. If I'll just talk about the count itself, so it was identified like if any alphabet we want to count, like take example S is one of the thing we just want to get it identify like how many S is coming in the whole string, that we can do it using the count function itself. Now if I just want to run this capitalize, that's also one other thing I can run it. I'll just explain you these things in later phase itself. If I want to identify is, like whether is coming in that whole string or not, that we can do it. If you want to get it convert from lower to high upper, that we can do it. This is the one which is quite interesting, a replace one. If we have identify is over there itself, if you want identify that is, it will be get it replaced with a R itself. So if you have is in a string, it get replaced with a R. So I think I'm able to explain you about it. Now little bit stuffs you can able to understand once we run the code, and we'll try to compare that with the actual output. Okay, let me run this. When we run this, we can able to see the first which we have discussed about it, a John, it's clear to you, it's a 4 only, till 4 you are getting the result. Now the length is 16, which we are clear about it. John is there is having no limit about it. For this itself, there is a difference of 2 itself in coming in between of it. That's one of the thing. It's starting from 0 and going to unlimited. So you can see it's a whole string to be get it printed. If we're talking about this, it's coming from anywhere but going till 5. So definitely it's reaching to 4 only. So it's a John. If we're talking about like these are the things, try to get it complete. I'm not get it explained once each and everything again and again. Try to get it, see the output, and try to visualize how exactly things is working over there itself. On the basis of that, it's a bit easy for you to visualize it, especially for this slicing section itself. Okay, and if you have any doubt, let me know about it. I'm not explaining each and everything about it. The output you can able to get it. Just try to compare it with the output and identify it how exactly the slicing is working over there itself and why you're getting such type of output. Main key things I just want to get it explained. The last one, it's replacing the is with the R. You can able to see this is replace. Now lower, upper, these things, this is a lower one. You can able to see like everything is in a lower now. Is get identify? Yes. That will be get identify. If it's yet capitalized, how many that's like you can able to see it's a 5. Now S is get identify as 5 itself. This if I'm talking about, yes, this will be there itself, true false condition itself, like these things is coming under the category over there, whether it's present over there or not. Alphanumeric is present over there or not, that was a thing, it get identified whether it's present over there or not, that's to be get identified. False is condition coming over there itself if it's not present. If it's present, then definitely. So for this is true, and for these two it's false, and rest everything you just try to get it identify matching with the output and try to identify like how exactly things are working. Like I have explained you few things, and at the time of telling you the code itself, I have explained you about it, but with the output try to get it mapped, understand that very well, and that's give you a privilege just to understand well and try to manipulate the code also. Try to make more combinations over there itself instead of just having a string. Try to put some other things also over there itself and try to run this same code once again for that, and try to customize that output also for MyStr. Try to identify, make it that few other things to be get, and see that where exactly you are getting the error, what type of other things you can get it explore over here. Okay, I hope you are able to understand the whole concept of slicing a string. I know that it's a big video, but this concept is very small, but I wanted that to be get it explained to you very well. That was the reason I took a lot of time itself. Okay, so thank you so much once again. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel. Thank you so much once again. Take care. Bye bye.